There is a specific type of argument that happens in America that does not happen anywhere else in the world. It happens in comment sections, in parking lots, at tailgates, at family cookouts, and occasionally at full volume in the cab of a moving vehicle. The argument is about trucks. Specifically, about which truck is the right truck, what the other trucks say about the people who drive them, and why the person making the argument made the obviously correct choice while everyone else made a decision that reveals a fundamental flaw in their character. No other vehicle generates this. Not cars. Not SUVs. Not motorcycles. Only trucks. Because trucks in America are not transportation. They are a statement of identity, so personal and so loaded that criticizing someone's truck is functionally the same as criticizing their father, their work ethic, and their entire sense of self simultaneously. Today we are going to do exactly that, to all of them. In order, the F-150. The Ford F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle in America for 47 consecutive years. Not the best-selling truck, the best-selling vehicle, period. Nothing else comes close, and the person who drives one knows this. They know this the way a hometown quarterback knows he once threw 4 touchdowns in the state championship. It comes up, not directly, but it comes up. The F-150 owner is the most confident person in any parking lot, and he has not actually done anything to earn that confidence beyond making the statistically most popular consumer decision available to him. But that is the genius of the F-150. It makes the most common choice feel like the correct choice, and it makes the correct choice feel like a personality trait. The F-150 owner does not say, "I bought the most popular truck in America." He says, "I drive a Ford." And the word Ford comes out of his mouth the way people say it when they mean something larger than a brand. They mean America. They mean work. They mean my grandfather and my father and now me. They mean a chain of decisions that stretches back before they were born and that they are proud to continue, even though the truck they are currently driving starts at just over $40,000, has a 12-inch touchscreen, and offers optional massaging seats. He will tell you he bought it because it is the most capable. He will tell you about the towing capacity. He will show you a chart he memorized that he found on the Ford website. None of this is dishonest. He just will not mention that he has never towed anything. The capability is not the point. The capability is the permission slip. It allows him to buy the truck he wanted for the reasons he actually has, while presenting a version of events that sounds more practical. The towing package is not there because he needs it. The towing package is there because it validates the whole thing. The F-150 owner is, at his core, a reasonable man who made a very expensive decision for completely emotional reasons, and spent the subsequent 3 years constructing a rational explanation for it. He is all of us. He is just doing it with a $60,000 truck, the Ram 1500. The Ram owner chose violence. Not actual violence, aesthetic violence. The Ram 1500, especially in the Rebel trim, is a truck that was specifically designed to look like it is annoyed at you. The front end is aggressive in the way a person is aggressive when they have decided that today is the day they are going to say something. The Ram does not arrive in a parking lot. It confronts the parking lot, and the person who chose it knew exactly what they were doing. The Ram 1500 owner looked at the F-150 and thought, too safe, too familiar. Too many of my neighbors have one. The Ram owner needed something that communicated a slightly sharper version of the same message. More edge, more aggression, more of a sense that he is not to be trifled with, which is a feeling he needs communicated by his vehicle because he works in middle management and spent 45 minutes on a conference call about quarterly projections this morning, and the parking lot is the only place things make any sense. The interior of the Ram 1500 has the largest screen of any truck on the market, 12 inches. Then they made it bigger, 16 inches, then bigger again. The Ram owner cares about this. He will bring it up when you get in. He will demonstrate something on the screen. He will use the word immersive. You will nod. Neither of you will acknowledge that the screen is approximately the size of a laptop and is mounted in a truck that gets 16 miles per gallon. The Ram owner and the F-150 owner have a relationship that is entirely based on mutual contempt and a deep, unspoken awareness that they are exactly the same person. They just need you to know they made a different choice. The distinction matters to them enormously. To everyone outside the truck community, it matters approximately zero. The Chevy Silverado. The Silverado owner did not choose his truck. The Silverado chose him. He is driving a Silverado because his dad drove a Silverado. His dad drove a Silverado because his grandfather drove a Silverado. At some point in the 1950s or 60s, someone in this family bought a Chevrolet truck, and that decision has been quietly renewing itself every 8 to 12 years ever since. The way a subscription that nobody thinks to cancel. The Silverado owner is not passionate about his truck. He is comfortable with it. And comfort, in the truck world, is the most underrated psychological state. The F-150 owner needs you to know he chose correctly. The Ram owner needs you to feel the choice. The Silverado owner just gets in and drives. He is not performing anything. He is not communicating anything. He bought the truck he always buys because it is the truck he has always bought. And the whole thing requires about as much deliberation as choosing which brand of paper towels to buy at the grocery store. This makes the Silverado owner the most psychologically stable person in this entire video. It also makes him the most invisible, which is, if you think about it, a fair trade. The GMC Sierra Denali. Here, we need to stop and acknowledge something unusual. The GMC Sierra and the Chevrolet Silverado are, functionally, the same truck. Same frame, same engines, same platform. They are built in the same factories. The differences between them are primarily cosmetic and trim related. This is public knowledge. It is not a secret. Every automotive journalist, every truck forum, every person who has spent more than 4 minutes researching either truck knows this. The Sierra Denali owner knows this. He bought it anyway, and he paid more for it. This is the most psychologically fascinating truck purchase on the entire list because it requires a level of self-awareness followed immediately by a decision that contradicts that self-awareness. The Sierra Denali owner is not stupid. He is not uninformed. He looked at the Silverado, understood that he was essentially looking at the same vehicle, decided that the GMC badge and the Denali trim and the slightly different grille were worth the premium, and signed the paperwork with full knowledge of what he was doing. What he was buying was not a different truck. He was buying a slightly different version of how he sees himself. The Silverado feels like a working truck. The Sierra Denali feels like a truck that a successful person drives. There is no practical difference between those two things. There is an enormous psychological difference between those two things. And the Sierra Denali owner is paying for the psychological difference, which, honestly, is the most honest thing anyone on this list has done. He knows what he is buying. He bought it anyway. Respect. The Toyota Tacoma. The Tacoma owner is better than you. He knows this. You know this. Everyone in the parking lot knows this. The only thing left to determine is how long it will take for him to mention it, and the answer is always approximately 45 seconds into any conversation about vehicles. The Toyota Tacoma has a reputation for reliability that borders on mythology. The stories about tacos, which is what Tacoma owners call them, because they have a whole language for their truck and they would like you to learn it, the stories are genuinely impressive. There are Tacomas with 200,000 miles that run fine. There are Tacomas that have been submerged in rivers and started afterward. There is a famous video of a Tacoma being driven off a cliff and then driven away from the bottom. The reliability reputation is real, and it is earned. The Tacoma owner has absorbed this reputation entirely into his self-concept. He is not just driving a reliable truck. He is a person who makes smart decisions. He is a person who thinks long-term. He is a person who did the research, which he absolutely did, because Tacoma owners always did the research, while the F-150 owner was busy being emotionally manipulated by a television commercial featuring a bald eagle and a time-lapse sunset. The Tacoma is also the only truck on this list that a significant percentage of owners actually take off-road. The Tacoma owner has a roof tent. The Tacoma owner has a recovery strap. The Tacoma owner has thought seriously about what they would do if they got stuck, because they have been stuck, and they handled it, and they would like you to know that they handled it without calling anyone. The Tacoma owner and the Ram owner are physically incapable of agreeing about anything. This is because they represent opposite ends of the same psychological spectrum. The Ram owner bought the truck to look like he could handle things, and the Tacoma owner actually handles things, and they find each other incomprehensible for reasons that are perfectly clear to everyone watching from the outside. The Ford Raptor. There are trucks. And then there is the Raptor. The Ford F-150 Raptor starts around $65,000 in base form and goes considerably higher from there, which means the Raptor buyer spent somewhere between $65,000 and $90,000 on a truck specifically designed for high-speed off-road driving, which they will use exclusively on paved roads at speeds that are legal but enthusiastic. The Raptor is the truck for the man who had a very specific dream at age 14 involving a desert race and a helicopter and a flare gun, and he never entirely let go of that dream. He just had to adapt it to the reality of his current life, which includes a mortgage and 2 kids and a strong preference for coffee that does not come from a gas station. The Raptor is how the dream survives contact with adulthood. The Raptor is visually intimidating in the way that certain animals are visually intimidating, where the intimidation is not a threat but a communication. The wide fenders, the Fox racing suspension, the skid plates protecting a belly that will never see a rock it needs to be protected from. Every design element on the Raptor says, I am capable of things that will not be required of me, and I am fine with that. And I would like everyone in this Whole Foods parking lot to understand that. The Raptor owner is also the most brand-loyal person in this entire video. He does not just own a Raptor, he is a Raptor person. He follows the Raptor community online. He knows the differences between every generation. He has opinions about suspension tuning that he delivers with the confidence of someone who has done extensive personal testing, which he has done in the sense that he has driven it very fast on an entrance ramp and it felt extremely stable. The Ram TRX. The Ram TRX is what happens when the engineers at Ram looked at the Raptor and said, that is not enough. The TRX has a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine producing 702 horsepower. This is the same engine that is in the Dodge Challenger Hellcat. They put the Hellcat engine in a truck. They looked at the problem of trucks being insufficiently absurd and they solved it with supercharging and 700 horsepower. The TRX starts around $90,000. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, faster than most sports cars. That sentence should not be true. It is. The TRX owner is operating at a level of commitment that deserves acknowledgement. He looked at the Raptor and found it insufficient. He is not wrong. Exactly. He is operating in a framework where being wrong is not really a category. The TRX exists beyond judgment. It exists in a space where the only available responses are either I understand completely or I have never understood anything in my life and I am comfortable with that. The TRX owner and the Tacoma owner have never had a productive conversation and never will. They are measuring entirely different things. The Tacoma owner is measuring long-term reliability, capability per dollar, and actual utility. The TRX owner is measuring how many horsepower is too many horsepower, and the answer he has arrived at is that there is no such number, and he is committed to that position. Here is what all 7 of these people have in common. None of them bought a truck. They all bought a version of themselves. The F-150 owner bought the version of himself that made the same choice as 47 years of American consumers and is right about it. The Ram owner bought the version of himself that is slightly more aggressive and interesting than the guy next door. The Silverado owner bought the version of himself that does not need to think about this. The Sierra Denali owner bought the version of himself that is successful in a way that is tasteful but visible. The Tacoma owner bought the version of himself that is smarter and more prepared than everyone else in the parking lot. The Raptor owner bought the version of himself that never entirely grew up and is not going to apologize for it. And the TRX owner bought the version of himself that looked at all available options, found them wanting, and selected 700 horsepower as the appropriate response. Every single one of them is right. They are just right about different things. And every single one of them will spend the next several years defending that rightness against every other truck owner on this list, in comment sections and parking lots and family cookouts, with the specific passion of someone defending not a vehicle but a decision about who they are, which means the argument never ends, which means the trucks keep selling, which means Ford and Ram and Chevy and GMC and Toyota are doing exactly what they intended. Everyone else is just paying for the privilege of the argument. Drop it in the comments. Which one are you? And if you do not own a truck, drop it anyway. because you know exactly which one you would buy. And the reason you know is the whole point of everything I just said.